welcome, and really happy to see you here. I'm Lilin. I'm an organizational developer at Hypotheses. I joined Hypo in July this year. And before that, I was working as an agile coach at a software company. And before that, I was working at the university as a research assistant in the philosophical department. So that's a warning that sometimes I will be losing, or I will be losing you. So please raise your hand if you find me on Mars or something and pull me back to Earth, okay? And I promise that I would not consider it as rude, okay, to interrupt. Yes, so before I start, I would like to ask you to raise your hand if you know the objectives and key results framework, no matter if you have read about it, have been using it, are expert in it. Nice. Who of you are trying to remove it from your organization?
From my team.
Yes, guilty as charged. You as well, Max. With two of my former colleagues at the software company, we were trying to evolve this process, this quarterly planning process, into something that's more fit for its purpose, because it does not work. Yes, so because we consider the whole process like a scaffold, rehearsed. If you build something, you need it, but not forever. It just supports the thing that you're trying to build, and then it just fade away. And the thing we were trying to build was alignment and prioritization since the implementation in 2016 in the software company. We tried to, because 6 years after it was first implemented, we observed some patterns. And at the beginning of 2022, the Agile team, 3 coaches, took over as the owner of the process. And we were trying to, so these are the things that we introduced. We tried out, experiment. Some failed, some still yet to come, the results. Quarterly focus brief is a live document where management write the objectives, and then it will just be updated quarter to quarter, so you don't come up with new objectives the next quarter. The company OKRs nomination, we try to ask people to just nominate company OKRs. And the management decides which ones to take to the next quarter. So the management sets a direction, but didn't tell the teams what exactly. Weekly updates with numbers of how many key results were delivered weekly, and which ones we still need to deliver in the next week so that we meet our goal at the end. My talk focuses on the last two, KR quality, which is the scheme to classify key results, and OKR, Orient, keep Resize. So the KR quality serves as the foundation for OKR. Cool. Yes. Note that through the presentation, I use OKRs to mean the objectives and key results framework, popularly adopted by Google, and OKR to mean the alternative way to review progress. Yes, so I just talked about the background, and that I will cover, and in the end, I will end my talk with some learnings. Between January 2022, the learnings began between January 2022 until March 2023, this year, when I left the company. Where do I have to point to? Maybe the thing. Yes. You might be familiar with the objectives and key results framework, because many of you raised your hand. So in the practice I experienced, it looked like this. There are two levels of OKRs. There are company OKRs, which are set by the management or mid-level management. And then this serves as the basis of the team OKRs. So at the team level, they also set an objective and key results according to the team. So there's maximum 5 objectives and 4 key results under each objectives. It was a couple planning and delivery process, meaning that like Scrum, you have 2 weeks, you plan, and then you deliver like 3 months, like that. So people have time, 3 months time to deliver, and then you plan again. Usually this happens in the last month. So you have the last month, delivery and planning. The cycle was 3 months, and whenever a key result has progressed 70% and above, is considered successful. So basically, it's a very logical framework. You have objectives, which tells what to achieve in the next 3 months, and then you have the key results, which is about how to measure if you have achieved it. So the whole process is like a restaurant. Imagine that you're running a restaurant and use OKR, the framework, to serve your customer. Customer comes in, they order stuff, and you pile up, the kitchen piled up with a priority list. And every 3 months, then you check the list and say, okay, next 3 months we will deliver these dishes. Yeah, they come in. So while you're delivering that, so the thing is that we observe that the customer needs, no matter external or internal customer needs, their needs are not being well served. So with normal requests, it's enough to have predefined menus and then predefined recipes. So people order something, and then the kitchen just check the recipe and then cook it and deliver it. These are the things that we know quite well. And we know that it will work, like best practices and good practices. What about there are some kind of deliverables like ATVIE or Dracula? What will you do? We only have some knowledge, we see the pattern. Dracula maybe with some blood thing dishes. You see some immersion patterns, but you're not sure if it will work. So what will you do? If Dracula or ATVIE from Lord of the Rings comes in, so you just do some experiments and to just deliver it and see how it's received, yeah? Yep. What about aliens? When alien comes in, what do you do? What do you do? So, running away. Exactly. Just not really exactly. Yes, when aliens comes in, what you do is to gain some time so that the kitchen can come up with something. I don't know what you do, but you just delay it until the kitchen just do something about it, and then to check if there's some pattern emerging. Yeah, there's no fixed practice. You cannot check a book and say, okay, alien comes in, I need to cook this and that and that. Not even Mr. Dracula and Elf. What if there's some deliverables that you don't know if it's an alien or elf or normal? The one with the question. You don't know what you're dealing with. So the first thing is to find out what you're dealing with. I think it's logical. So I said that, okay. Needs not being well served. Why? Because there's an indicator. The success ratio remained at 55% plus minus 3%, which means that half of the things that customer ordered will or will not be delivered. Simple as that. As customer, you don't know, I order something, but I don't know if I will get it. Another thing is that we also observe a progress burst. So rocket at the end of the delivery cycle. The number 3 months, the third month of the quarter, which actually leads to the question, how long exactly do we need for delivering certain type of dishes? So that leads to my statement here, one size does not fit all, because our knowledge level differs. If the knowledge level differs because of the nature of the thing that we are dealing with, but also the way how we deal with these kind of deliverables or dishes. What are you trying to do? For example, I mentioned that for emergent, things that we have emergent patterns, we're trying to do some experiments to find out if it fits. For aliens, we just do something and then find out if it works. And then you might see some emergent patterns for the thing that we don't know even know what we're doing with, you just find out. Yeah? Because the knowledge level different. Yeah? For example, at the beginning of new technology, AI now, for a lot of us, we see some emergent patterns, how people can use it and all this stuff. It will evolve. In 10 years, it won't be these emergent patterns. It will become, some good practices will come out, and also best practices for that, which means that it's a dynamic process. So I said that, yes, the customer needs were not well served because we cannot know if, as customer, we don't know when we will get what we ordered. Therefore, the key question lies in how do we better manage delivery and expectation. You might know this scheme of dividing key results into committed and aspirational goals. The committed key OKRs are those that have to be achieved 100% at the end of the delivery cycle, according to what matters. The aspirational goal pushes the goal for success further, and by design it will exceed the team's capability to deliver. And the goal in the end of the quarter is to achieve 60% and above. Yeah? So basically, this classification reflects attitudes. How people deal with key results reflects attitudes. Well, if it's not very effective, if you want to improve based on this scheme, because we are limiting our options to improve people's attitudes, right? I don't think it will be a very fruitful conversation if you go to somebody and say, hey, you have to improve your attitude. Yeah. Therefore, okay, I forgot to explain this. Let's see. So basically, they need to, yes. Imagine the 3 months. It's like the key results is going on a slide. So we have a setup phase, we have the cooking phase, and then we have the cleanup phase. Imagine you invite someone to your house for dinner. You cooked it, you prepare for the cooking, and then you cooked it, and then you serve it. It doesn't end at end of the dinner. You still have to wash the dishes, otherwise you have technical debt. Yeah? So, for aspirational key result, at the end, it's the progress needed, still needed, because the goal is 70%, so still needed is 30%. The goal is end at 30% and lower. And for committed, it's 0% because you have to 100% complete. It's like a countdown chart. Yeah, 12 weeks we have at the beginning, and then you have less and less and less time towards the left. As I said, it's not very, this scheme reflects attitude, and it's not very effective if we want to improve something. We are limiting our options. We might run into drama when we in conversations. Therefore, we introduce Therefore, we introduce this scheme of 5 KR types. Do you still remember a restaurant? Yeah. To keep my talk coherent, I keep using this metaphor with the colors and the emojis. In the practice, we actually use another terminology, which I will come back to at the end of this talk. So, the goal type, the usual request is divided into goal type and grass green type of request, which stands for either we use best practices to deliver something, or we use good practices to deliver something, or we do expect. The blue one stands for to have to do experiment. So the course of actions differ. The first type, the goal type, you categorize and says that, okay, I use this best practice, like organize a team event, team building event. It's best practice. You don't have to invent the wheel new. For the grass green, you said that you check good practices and find out. So difference between the goal grass green with the other ones is that there are causality in the gold and grass green ones. Any questions until now? So with this scheme, what we are challenging people is not their attitude. Is how they make sense of their deliverables and how they go about with the deliverables. Meaning that for the blue type, since we first do experiment to find out if this is the right way, there will be early indicator of success. For the green type, we need some experts to analyze. Therefore, also the setup phase is longer than the other ones, which means that it will be lagging, the indicator will be lagging. For the other two types, there's no indicator, because we need first to find out what actually we want. Okay, I have some examples here, but again, it's based on the knowledge that individual KR owners have, which means that one thing would be apparent to you, but to others it's not apparent. The whole process is about how we make sense, or how the company or KR owners, teams make sense of the deliverables, and how knowledge is gained. Yeah. As I say, it's about the knowledge level. For this quarter, something might be alien to you. Next quarter, it might change to Dracula, because you find out emergent patterns. Yeah? So knowledge would increase. What this tells us that if you have a distribution of the KR types, you will see if the system tends to be more reactive because we just use best practices. Just do it, just do it, just deliver. Or it tends to be more explorative, proactive. And this, based on this, we can establish a health indicator. More of proactive and less of reactive. Depends on the company wants what. And it's actually a good indicator also about the agility of the system. Okay. Yes. Now that I talk about different types of key results, I want to go to the topic of risk review. Before the new process was introduced, the traffic light system was used. So mid-quarter, people, KR owners gathered together and they gave their key result, their own key results, a traffic light. I think everyone knows that. Red is like in danger, something needed immediately. Yellow is action needed, and green is on track. Yes, as time went by, we observed some patterns. For one thing, the mid-quarter check-ins turned into status report. People come in and say, okay, I have this progress and that progress. Instead of like showing red flagging was seldom, but in the end, our success ratio did not increase. Nobody shows in the mid-quarter, yeah, it's red, but in the end, we still have half of the things that we could not deliver. So, that's the reason we introduced, actually, right before I left, OKR, Orient Keep Resize. I will take this fictional key result as an example for demonstration reason. Okay? So, if I would be the KR owner of this key result, I would put it as alien, because I want us to do something to see how the system reacts. Yeah. So imagine that it's mid-quarter, 6 weeks still left, and there are 4 possible spaces where in the mid-quarter that the key result is. Number 4, what do you infer from it? If this is the progress, the curve that I show, what do you infer from it? Number 4, on the right top corner. It still needs a lot of effort, it still needs a lot of time. It's just too big. It's not cost effective, cost in the sense of energy, time, to continue the way it has been until the mid-quarter. And that's why we suggest to resize it or remove it. Yeah. Number 2 and number 3, What can you infer from it? What do you infer from it?
Somewhat manageable.
I don't know if it's biasing you that keep already there, but it's manageable. Yes, exactly. Number 3, the key results, it's good in progress, but lacking time. It's below the red line. Number 2 is the opposite. Lacking progress, but time's enough. Which one would you choose? Prioritize. Number 2 or number 3? 3. Why?
Because it's manageable.
What kind of manageable?
You could finish it.
I would also say 3 because it's less effort and it's physical. We tend to choose things that requires less effort. Yeah. So these are 2 are manageable, but still, that's number 3. My recommendation would be keep it, but prioritize over number 2. What about number 1? Number 1 is really close, yeah. But it could still suggest that if some things changed, it won't be able to deliver it. So it's at a zone that's a lot of changes could happen. It's really closed. That's why it's very important to scan for size to a board. Is there anything that shows me that no, we have to do something? That's why it's orient or observe. Really pay close attention to the size of stop to do something. So you can use one type for this graph, just one type on the graph, or you just have a team that have different types of key results and put it on a map together. The important thing is that compare with spreadsheets or Excel that where you fill out the table. It's vision. No, it's, how to call that? It's visualized. You see the relation between different things. Then that helps to have the teams to think, to think in relation to other stuff and to prioritize, because nothing is absolute. You see the different things? And what's the purpose of a graph? Is that it enables people to make quick decisions, right? And of course, that's also the reason why I put a question mark. It's not like that it's proven because this is alien. Teams still need to think and reflect. If you put, what if the team puts a green on the Resize zone? It's the right corner, top corner. If you put a traffic light of green on it, then we need to talk, right? So, the OKR was, the purpose of introducing this is to consolidate one rule we have, or we had. KR owners, when planning, they need to fill out 5 questions. What's the outcome? What are you going to do? The KR types and time needed, progress needed, action, these are for mid-quarter check-ins. What are the signs to a board? what are the signs of success? 5 questions that if they can answer it, it's fine. They are free to do anything. If you can answer it. You can also have a key result that's not related to company objectives. So long as you can publish this and make this transparent. It's like you're going on an autobahn, right? You need a stop sign telling you that this is not the direction. If you want to go to, I don't know, Vienna, and then something says that it's the direction of Salzburg, I don't know if it's right. Or there's a sign saying that Vienna, 80 kilometers, and then the next one you see is 60 kilometers. This is the reality check, yeah? So, the rules might be simple. In the context I was, designing them is not. Yeah? The thing is, okay, what I want to tell you is that please don't go back and say that we want to remove our OKRs. Okay, if it's successful, you can tell people that you hear it from me. But if it failed, please don't mention my name. Because, as I said, the scaffold was needed. Yeah? But it needs to change, evolve with the culture and the market and all this stuff. Yeah? Okay. Concluding what I just said, you remember that what we did, some of them failed, some of them success, and the thing I would recommend is data is important. Data is important. Data is important. Not with data. We show weekly, the weekly message shows that how many KRs we delivered the past week and how many still need to be completed next week so that we will meet our goal at the end of the quarter. Send out, it's automatic. Okay, yes, one rule, automate things that you can. At the beginning, it's very difficult to have data. That's where we use Monte Carlo simulation to do it, to send out a message. Facility complexity and adaptation. Yes, we all know that an organization is a complex adaptive system, meaning that cause can be effect, effect then turns into cause, and everything is connected. You cannot just, 10 minutes, okay. We found clean language very useful in facilitating complex interactions. Who have you heard of clean language? Cool. Go. It's a very effective way. I'm not going to explain what is clean language and all this stuff. I'm sure that you can Google it. The last one, to balance, it's like dancing, to balance, push the knowledge or let people pull it. Yeah? We never train people, maybe some of you already have see through my presentation. Actually, all this stuff is based on conniving framework. Yeah? We never train people on what is the complicated domain, what is the complex domain. We never train people about that. Yeah? This is the adopted terminology where we in use to enable people also to make up decision really quick. One solution, everyone have intuition what that is. I don't have to tell you this is the clear domain, and then you use best practices and all this stuff. It would just add, it just increase the risk of people resistance. It's like effort, mental effort. I need to finish my stuff. I don't have efforts to read through all your thing and then come up with a KR type. Yes, guide with layman's language. Instead of, you have to keep the incoming key result number equal to the outgoing key result number. Chew as much as you can digest, for example. That's the thing we really use in the practice. So, last but not least, quoting Eisenhower, plans are nothing, planning is everything. I would rather say that plans are nothing without planning. Maps are good, but the reality matters more. So then, thank you for your attention.